Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that clock where we have to talk about what happened in that court. And obviously, I know this is one of not interesting times. We have to go through this script. Since this case started, I think this is the worst time that we can ever endure.
This is the worst.
At the hands of Sibanda. Well,
this is the worst time that
it did happen. So while we are at that, let us remind you to like and share the video, and also comment on the comment section as usual.
Yes.
We welcome your comments. We will do what is right from our side in terms of making sure that everyone read your comments. While you're doing that, make sure that you bless us with your like, subscribe.
Yes, please.
And I think we are good. If you do that, if you share the video, like and subscribing, then we are good. So today's comments are obviously opening with Patrick and to be Sheng. That's the person who commented first. So we greet you on that comment section.
Hi,
Have
Patrick.
this conversation continue. Make friends also. That's important. So not to take things serious because, you end up having diseases that you cannot afford to have because of this case. But that being said, Emily, just do your thing. I will listen to you as usual with the rest, and you will take us into that court in a short space of time. Normally it's 5 hours, but you do it in less than an hour most of the time. That's what you do. That's what you're capable of doing.
I have to, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
Ain't nobody got 5 hours. Especially imagine you're coming from work. Sometimes you have to run errands. You can't. You literally can't. So guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. I think by now we can all see what kind of a mess we are in. It has turned out to be something else. Like, I don't understand the state's role in this trial anymore. It's very confusing. I think we can all see what this means. I think we can see that, you know what, the state is on the state side and no one else but the state side. At this point, it doesn't even feel like it's justice for Senzo Meyiwa. It's like we're in a different court case. It's like it's no longer about Senzo anymore.
No, it's not about Senzo.
It has turned out to be.
It seems as if it's about who can hide the most, and the people who are doing that is the states. They are playing, for me, monkey tricks. As Default referred to this as monkey tricks.
Oh my God. A lot is going on in
There's
that
a lot of things that are going on, and if you're allowed to do them, you will do them any day, any time. I mean, even if it means that person will sit on the stand for like a month, it's okay. If it allows you to do so, you will do so. But it smells. We will do anything to make sure that we don't mess up this case as it is right now. We feel it is messed up.
No,
it's a waste of time that we are still sitting on Ntanzi. That, for me, as I said yesterday, I think if it was me, I would evaluate Ntanzi and declare him not fit.
Mentally.
Yes.
He's tired.
He is telling the truth.
Yes.
Believe in me, he's telling the truth. But mentally, I
and
don't
Sibanda is there to make him worse. He's there to just make him sick, literally, in the head. That's what he's doing right now. And it's like watching someone getting bullied. It's not fun.
Yeah. So, it's hard. It's heartbreaking. I do watch, and then I rest for my sanity.
Your sanity, ne?
Yeah,
Nah,
I
I'm sick. I'm getting sick with every time that Sibanda is on that cross-examination.
What
I'm
does
getting
this saying?
sick.
There's consistency in it. It is
Yes,
truthful.
yes.
For me, if you ask me, there's
And
truth
people
in
are
it.
like, oh no, but he said he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. Those are minor things that even if you were to be questioned every day straight for 3 days, you would literally be in that position where some of the things you don't even hear them anymore. You just
answer.
You just answer because what the hell? Like, I don't understand how someone can literally be abused. You know, when he said earlier that when those things were happening to him and he felt like nobody was on his side amongst the police. Right now it feels like nobody's on his side in that court. And even the defense themselves, I feel like there should be more objections than what is currently happening. They are all too quiet for my liking. I would have objected every single thing that Sibanda is doing, exhaust him as well. Because what are you doing? You are literally driving someone insane in front of us and we're watching. You are watching, you are asking the same question. Your cross-examination is literally 10 questions asked in different manners.
Yes.
There's nothing new. There's nothing original. Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Where's something you can counter with? You're busy bringing papers that he clearly is telling you that they were not written by him. And you keep asking him over and over and over and over and over and over, hoping to get a different something. You're not going to get it. It's been... Tomorrow we're going to day 3 of Ntanzi, Bongani Ntanzi under cross-examination, Mr. Anonymous.
Yes. I was just checking this man. Advocate Ronnie Sibanda. Who studied in University of South Africa.
So he studied at UNISA.
So
he's giving UNISA lawyers a bad name.
Yeah.
A bad reputation. I always see them getting dragged on Twitter. He's not helping the situation of making UNISA lawyers look. At some point, even the judge himself was throwing shade at UNISA lawyers at some point. Or was it under Maumela? No, it wasn't this judge. It was under Chipiwa Maumela, where they were like, therefore seemed like a UNISA lawyer. There's nothing wrong with a UNISA lawyer, but Sibanda is not representing UNISA well.
This case is not about finding out the truth.
No, it's not.
It's about
protecting the state and the police.
Yes, it seems. I mean, that's
cleaning up their image to the public.
It's now all about that.
Making them look that they are not so terrible at closing cases. Trying to hide that actually this was not so much of a good job that was done in arresting these people, in my opinion. Not much investigations were done. They just hammered on confessions. They are hammering on confessions for dear life. Confessions that the people that are saying they wrote those confessions, they did not write them. That's all they have. It's so sad. It's so sad. And now it makes sense why victims of crimes always feel that in this country there's no justice. Because what is this? What are we watching, my people? What are we watching? So it's now day 3 of Ntanzi under Sibanda's cross-examination. And I sure feel for his mental health, you guys. I really feel for Bongani Ntanzi's mental health. I feel like every time he answers a question, even now, he's getting more worked up. He's getting more aggressive. He's getting more reactive. And he started well. You know, he started so well. He told his side of the story and everything. But everything now feels like they are pushing his buttons. It feels like they're pressing him to say something that will implicate him. And I would not be surprised if he has a mental breakdown anytime now. I'm literally, as I'm listening, I'm counting. I'm like, okay, it's going to happen now. He's going to lose his mind. It's going to happen now. He's going to lose it. It's going to happen now. Apologies for the background noise, you guys. It's getting attended to. But yeah, it literally feels like that. It feels like he's going to lose it. He's going to, any moment now. I feel like if I were not, I would recommend that mental evaluation, not to say that he is crazy, but to say that this whole thing, it's been happening since 2020. It has taken a mental toll on him, whether we like it or not. And right now, I'm seeing the state capitalize on that. In his version, he's been abused. He has been abused by the police. He has been abused. And right now, it feels like he's being abused by the state. Do you understand what I'm saying? So maybe having some kind of mental break or mental let's go have a doctor look at him psychologically to still see if he's fit to stand this more cross-examination. Now I would just do it because no one is calling this person to order, this Sibanda person to order. They should call him to order. They should. It's unfair, and nothing is being done to say, like, you can literally stop everything and say, you know what, I don't think that this is healthy. I don't think that this is healthy for my client. So I feel like the defense, I don't know, they're just chilling. But I feel like Mr. Ramasipil, do something. Mental health wise, my client, will they be okay after this? Because this literally is badgering, We need him to have him psychologically evaluated for the meantime to see if he's still mentally fit. Because that's why everyone keeps saying, no, he's contradicting himself. He's good. But those contradictions, are they helping the state's case? Because any person who's been under intense cross-examination for 2 days is bound to fall apart. And it's so unfortunate that the people that needed this kind of cross-examination did not get it because the judge wouldn't allow it. He said Rob versus Hepworth. But now it doesn't apply to the accused. They're supposed to implicate themselves. They're supposed to contradict themselves. It's supposed to be that way. That's what he wants. And he's literally driving it to that direction. And like I said yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying, it seems like Ntanzi is the weakest link. Right now, they are hammering him. They want him to break. That's all. That's all this is. And I feel like the defense should really fight for this guy. Because right now, he's feeling like he's alone. He's feeling like he's fighting alone. And at some point, he's going to get exhausted. If someone is going to exhaust your client, exhaust them as well. You've seen Advocate Baloy objecting, even though his objections were like not making any sense. Why aren't the defense doing the same thing? You can't be allowing badgering of your client like that. Say something, do something, object. When he's throwing insult to saying objection, you can't be speaking to the client like that. You can't be speaking to the witness like that. Where are we? Are we in a tavern? Throw that shade. Make him tired as well. Make him emotional as well. Because why not? He's playing a game here that has no end. We're going to be listening to this cross-examination for how long? I'm tired. But anyway, guys, let me go through it with you guys. I'm just so worked up by this whole thing. So it seems the plan is to wear him out, make him tired, and even more confused. The more he keeps being on that stand, the more confused he'll become. It's bound to happen. Any normal person who testifies and testifies for that long and is under cross-examination for that long. I can see cross-examination for 1 day, 2 days. 1.5 days is as long as this has happened. But now we are entering the 3rd day. Tomorrow will be the 3rd day of him in cross-examination. And guess what? The questions are not going to be new. They're going to be the same. They're going to be rotating, recycling them, just exactly as these are. These questions were asked yesterday and the day before yesterday, but they were asked again today. Some of the things Mr. Ramasipili dealt with, his examination in chief was very long. He covered a lot of things and a lot of bases, but guess what? Every time he introduces a new question, Usibanda, he wants Bongani Ntanzi to reiterate everything he said before, exactly the way it was said. If he misses one phrase, it's an issue. The court started off with Advocate Baloyi saying that they communicated with the court regarding the proceedings and that they have submitted submissions to the defense counsel, and that it seems the defense had taken a different stance, that they will address it at a later stage. So Advocate Baloyi was talking about the paperwork, I think. Yes, the paperwork that was supposed to be done yesterday, the one that they adjourned early for. And he was saying that they have submitted those submissions to the defense counsel, right? And he said he hadn't received a response from the defense in the morning while he was talking. And he was saying it seems like they've taken a different stance. So in my mind, I was thinking, what do you mean they've taken a different stance? Does it mean that you have the paperwork with you, you've submitted the paperwork, and they are choosing not to argue with you? What is it? He didn't really elaborate, but later on, Ramasipili kind of addressed it indirectly. And that's why they adjourned early as well. That's part of the reason why they adjourned early. So Ramasipili wanted the court transcripts of Tlhabane Court, right? And those court transcripts of Tlhabane Court, they were not made available in the morning like they had discussed, because yesterday they left early. A pro farmer was upside down. It didn't have page 5, and then at the same time, there were 5 accused that were appearing on a J50 that was supposed to only have Bongani Ntanzi. But then in the morning, Baloyi is saying that they have, the defense has taken a different stance and that they will address it at a later stage. So we were left hanging literally in the morning regarding this issue. And then later on, Mr. Ramasipili is like, no, we want the court transcripts of Tlhabane Court. So Ramasipili stood to address the court regarding the cross-examination where Sibanda said that Ntanzi was admitted to the cells at Phokeng police station. And Ntanzi said that he never entered the cell. Remember how sure Sibanda was yesterday when he introduced this in his cross-examination, to say that Ntanzi lied by saying that he never entered the court. And we kind of evaluated it on the channel yesterday to look at the times. I took the times on purpose, and to me it looked like he was there for 5 minutes. So how was he supposed to be admitted into the cell for 5 minutes? But thankfully, Mr. Ramasipili found a court record from Mohani when he was testifying. And he read that court record from the 2nd of November 2023 when Mohani was testifying under examination in chief with Advocate Baloyi, where Baloyi asked him whether he was processed at the cell in Phokeng. And Mohani answered no. We just registered him in the OB, but he did not go into the cells in Phokeng. This man literally had a series of questions after introducing this false, untrue statement.
And he's been doing that. I mean, we've been seeing it a lot of times. We have been seeing it. So what is currently accusing Ngomezulu of doing
is actually done by him.
And the problem is that the weight differs.
Sibanda said that he's submitting that the record speaks for itself. So Ramasipili wanted to know if that question and answer series will be expunged from the record or what. Okay, and the judge said that it was nullified. So basically, Sibanda...
What happened to we don't expunge things in this court?
I do not know.
Okay.
Me, I don't know. Different strokes, different folks, different rules. Animal farm vibes. Animal farm. So the judge said that it was nullified. Sibanda has just wasted our time. Yesterday, that we will never get back. That Ntanzi will never get back. Our data that we will never get back. Listening to him following a line that was untrue. Following a statement that he personally made that he didn't even bother to verify whether it is true or not.
Yes.
He's doing his cross-examination based off of what he heard or what he thinks not about what was said.
And you can put it far from just purposely asking this question in a manner that he's asking. Just asking them for the sake of asking them. Can put it far from him. I mean, that's my opinion. So I feel like he's asking some of these questions. He knows very well that they are wrong. Because if you listen to some of his questions, they don't make sense. You cringe when you listen to them. You cringe, like literally you cringe.
Literally. And Ntanzi's
and then
mental health as well.
That line of questioning that says you didn't debunk when so-and-so was here. You didn't debunk when so-and-so is here. I think I would object to that.
You know, these lawyers...
And why I would object to that is that what this line of questioning is insinuating is that this we're done with the case of this trial within a trial. We're done with it. So whatever that Ntanzi is saying now is too late. My learned friend is suggesting that. Ntanzi is here. He doesn't need to say, I was here, I'm here, I knew I was going to talk, I knew my time was going to come. All he needs to say is that each and every one of us were here to tell our truth. And though we will be tested on that truth, it shouldn't be to such an extent that someone says, because so-and-so said this thing, and that person was given a chance without being disturbed, therefore, you miss the chance of telling your own truth. Ntanzi's truth is different from other people's truth most of the time.
Yes.
And let that be on record, that Ntanzi is only here to state his own truth.
Yes. Yes. That is so true. And
he shouldn't be debunking and doing all these things. He knew his time was coming, and here his time is there. You want to test him on his truth, do that. Do not compare his truth and say because so-and-so was here, you never said anything when so-and-so was saying that. I'm saying it. We are still in that process, aren't we? We are still in that process of you telling your truth and I telling my truth. And then the judge will decide which truth prevails.
yes. Whatever happened to, I'll leave that for argument. Whatever happened to that? Why can't he use it? He uses it.
I don't
after
understand.
hammering on one
I
point
don't
for
understand.
for 60 minutes.
I just don't understand when he says Mohalo was unopposed or so-and-so was unopposed when he said 1, 2, 3.
So Ntanzi, you're supposed to get up. That's a lie. Is that what she was supposed to do? From the box, the accused box, and say, you are lying. What exactly? What exactly? He's not a lawyer. He's not a lawyer. And even if there was a lawyer, remember that this version is given to the lawyer. The lawyer takes it. Gomezulu took it, how he received it, and he delivered it. In fact, he was seeking clarity sometimes, going back to the accused to say, give me clarity on this point. And then he will come back and narrate it, trying as much as he possibly could to narrate it how he was given it. he was just a mouthpiece. You
Yes.
understand? It's not that those things happened to Mgomezulu. So for Sibanda to have this expectation that Mgomezulu is
It must be
supposed to
perfectly
say
said.
word for word, everything must be
While
to the
he's
T.
also asking questions, cross-examining on bogus information sometimes.
What a waste of time.
It's just, I mean, if you are going to throw a stone in someone's house, make sure that your house is not built of glasses. No, make sure that.
Well, Sibanda continued with the exhibit of Pukeng from the 24th of June 2020. First, he started by saying that he will be using the evidence of Brigadier Gininda that on the 23rd of June 2020, he received a call from Muot Police Station while legal visit by Ntokozo Mjiyakho. Ntanzi said that that is not true. Mjiyakho never visited him at the police station.
Listen to this. And you find people who, I'm going to behave like a judge, who thinks that this Ntanzi guy is really involved in this thing. Mjiyakho visited Ntanzi, as they say.
They are saying
no
that.
information other than the word of mouth.
No. Where's
No
the record?
information suggesting that Mjiyakho visited Ntanzi.
There's no
They were
record.
asked to bring that record.
They haven't brought.
They haven't brought that record.
But
then
is there
a
in the
sane
morning
person-
telling us that they've decided differently or what?
Can
I
you
don't
listen
know.
to that? A sane person who has a brain, who's a father of somebody, who's a mother of somebody, is here on our comments saying that then they killed so and so. I mean, I'm gonna call you out because at the end of the day, we must just tell it as it is. Now I hate people who are lazy to think. No, I hate people who are lazy to think. No, man. You know, I'm not saying I'm smart,
No.
but at least show that you are alive.
Take a moment.
I mean, how do you explain this to your kid? Explain it to me, Daddy.
Take a
How did it
moment.
happen? How do you think it happened? I'm just saying, justice must be served. We all want justice
What
for
is
Senzo.
justice to you?
We
That
all
would
want
be my
justice for
question.
Senzo. We want justice for Senzo.
What does justice look like for a person who wants someone to go down for something that they say they have not done and it's not even proven? There's no evidence. That is overwhelming.
Justice must be sure. You can't just say, just because you heard that there's a collaboration of 5 combined people, one who have done serious crimes, serving his life sentence there, and the other one who has done 1, 2, 3, and the other one also has done 1, 2, 3. And then there's this one who has this lot of ghost cases that are available, but they are not clear, those cases. Then they only started when he was being investigated for Senzo, just around that time. And then you say, that person must go to jail.
There's guilty.
This is someone's father, man.
Some even they went as far as to call him an Inkabi.
This is someone's
who
father.
Had a job.
Someone who would go down, being a Ngabi, it means that you wouldn't take a risk of going down to the Lokuzan.
To the mine
mines,
underground.
and work for your kid. You can, because you can be called anytime.
Yes.
You need to disappear anytime.
Yes, and at the mines they work shifts.
And then you tell me that you are here in this group. You are busy telling us that this should happen, this should happen. Just try to be fair and reasonable to your brain. Use a bit of it, at least 15% of it. I'm sure you would say something. Because we are here, I'm saying submit. Submit to me. Why do you think that person should go to jail? DNA exonerated these people. Ballistic issue is parked. It was a revolver. It was a
Pistol.
A pistol. It's not clear.
9mm.
it's not clear. Ntanzi had gold tooth. I mean, Lorraine came and pointed at Ntanzi.
They did.
It was before Lorraine realized that her sister would have to actually go down with the 5 accused. All of a sudden, Lorraine is supporting her sister.
Yeah, now she's supporting her sister. I remember we even did a video.
Does
she understand? Does she understand what is going on? Because her sister is implicated to have been with the accused.
Do you understand? We said this thing before it happened. We said it that people don't think. You know, if you don't want
to... And she pointed at one of the accused.
So if these guys were to go down, the question is, what about Kelly?
Your sister.
You know?
That you support and love so much.
He was fingered there in that court, that as a mastermind. You know, it was nice when you were crying, doing all this, you know, thing that you were doing. It worked well. But is it still okay?
I wonder how she feels now listening to Ntanzi's testimony as well as cross-examination.
She's not going to feel anything. She's not going to feel anything. How he's
being abused.
She's not going to feel anything. Because she was thinking that 5 go down, it's done.
And we are off the heat.
We are off. That's it.
We don't have to answer to anything and anybody anymore.
And obviously, we are alleging everything that we say here. But all I'm saying is that look at what is in front of you. Look at what is in front of you. And if there was a mastermind, how do you arrest first someone who was sent and then leave the mastermind for years and years to make money and continue singing, living her life? You know, at some point you put him as a person who's gonna come and testify. And remember this. You put that person as a person who's gonna come and testify when J50 was already submitted of that person and it was not signed. You still put him as someone who's gonna come and testify, right? And then you drop him. Then the theory of J50 comes out. This is not something that is happening now. And then you expect old people who have ideas to sit down and eat that and say, yeah, that's true. This guy should go down. You expect us to sit here and say, yeah, it happened the way you are narrating in that court. No, I don't want to undermine my brain. I must use it. At least I must use it.
You know, I'm reminded of Shirin Divani's case for some weird reason. Shirin Divani was called, like, that case even, he was the alleged mastermind. Let me put it in this way. He was the alleged mastermind, right? And there came 2 Nkabis from the Cape that he was dealing with, and they ended that lady's life and they made it look like it was a hijacking, right? And then he went to trial for this long period of time until all of a sudden, you know, he never got arrested. He slipped. Now he's in his country, moving on about his life, and the people that he had hired or allegedly hired are in prison.
That is what South African law is capable of.
So now I'm thinking if that was not the idea behind also this case as well.
That's what our laws are capable of doing.
Sure, Heingek.
People are excited that this person will be taken, also will have to go down with it. Hey, wake up. If that was supposed to happen,
it would have happened.
It would have
happened.
Been
arrested.
Long
At least
time.
Shirin Divani was arrested. that Divani guy. He was arrested, at least. He went to court. And somehow he slipped by some default. And then the next thing, he's not serving sentence. He's not paying for his crime. He's over there in the UK living his best life. While the Nkabis are in prison. So what if this was not the aim also with this one? But then there's a glitch here. The glitch here is that these people that have been accused, you haven't supplied enough evidence as the state to convince that ngampela, these people did do the crime. These people were there on the 26th of October. So far, evidence is not evidencing. And that's where a majority of us are having a problem with that, to just run with this narrative that they did do it. It's difficult because we have nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, even with this whole situation of Mjiyakho, the visit, Brigadier Kinina did testify that there was a visit that Mjiyakho had given to Ntanzi. And he's saying that it was on the 23rd of June. And he appeared on court the following day, or he appeared at the Boksburg Magistrate Court to make that confession on the 24th of June. That was like the following day, right? So when he's saying that Dogozo visited Ntanzi, and Ntanzi is denying it, to say that's not true, he did not visit me. Did he not visit Brigadier Kinina there?
That is a good question, because Kininda claims that he saw this person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. On the 23rd, and Ntanzi saying, I didn't see this person.
Yes.
And then to make things worse, where's the record of the visit that he gave Ntanzi on the registry of the prison? Apparently, there's a separate one for lawyers who come to consult with their clients.
I don't know. Towards the Silanga, I have made you a moderator because I see that there are people who are troubling you on the comment section.
Okay, yes, Towards the Silanga, you are now a moderator.
Yeah, you should be able to time those people out, because I have to do other things. Yeah, there are people who are just trollers here.
They are trolling. How? Why would you do that? Why are you trolling, guys? No, let's go up. This is serious. People's lives are at stake here. And Mtokozi Silanga, you can put people on timeout now.
Yeah, people who you deal with that.
Yeah, the nitty-gritties of the chat, you deal with them. They are your responsibility. Let them know. They have to know. Well, then moving on, you guys, the bandana went to the 24th of June 2020, and Ntanzi said that he recalled being booked out of the cells by Sergeant Mogani. He was always in the company of Sergeant Mabena. They never told him where they were going. They arrived at the Boksburg court, and he was informed by Mabena when they arrived that this was the Boksburg court. He would say that they would just take him, why? Let's go, wake up, and book him out. Get into the car. And then when they arrive at the destination, they're telling him, you are in court, Baba. This is the Boksburg Magistrate Court. That's how he's narrating it. That's his version. And he said it yesterday. It still hasn't changed even now. It's still the same. So when they got to Boksburg Magistrate Court, Sergeant Mogani went out of the vehicle through the turnstiles. Remember, we've talked about this before. And went up to the stairs, holding the papers that he has always been holding in a brown envelope. Ntanzi said that he was not assaulted before he was taken to Boksburg Court on the 24th of June 2020, or the day of the alleged confession. And he said that he was beaten up later in the afternoon. Mogani never threatened him, and he is the person who would take him out of the vehicle. He did not see where Mogani ended up while he went to the turnstile gates, went through them, and then went up the stairs into the court. Ntanzi saying that as he was sitting in the car waiting for him, he did not see where Mogani ended up. He couldn't see exactly where he was because it was his first time there. And after some time, he got down the stairs and he did not come back through the turnstiles. He called Mabena actually to come into that premises just before the gates and went to him and told him to open for Ntanzi. So he says they had a little bit of a caucus there with Mabena, and then he came back to fetch him or to open the car for him so that he could get out.
Yes.
You know? And he said that they opened for him. Close to the turnstiles, Mabena took out his handcuffs because he could not pass with the hands at the back. Same story. Nothing much has changed.
No,
guys,
I
did not include their questions on purpose because I knew it's a repetition. It's everything just as he said it, just as he's been saying it. And Sibanda is like a dog with a bone. He wants him to go to a mental institution after he's done with him. Literally. And he's making him feel that he's alone. And I will not stop telling the defense that Ntanzi feels alone. They should object more. They're not doing enough objection. You understand?
Yes.
They're letting Sibanda get away with a lot.
Yes.
And she said that there was a door and there was a man who came from inside and said to him that he was sent to him. He was sent to Ntanzi and was sent by people from home. He said, I asked if you are saying you were sent by my family. How did my family know that I'm arrested? Because I've not yet told them that I was arrested.
Yes.
You know? And he says, when I told him to show me the numbers of my family members who contacted him or a message or something where they told him that he should come and assist me, he never showed me those things. That's what Ntanzi is saying. He's saying that here I am, Mabena Mohani, having a little bit of a caucus outside there, and then they open for me. They take me out of the car. They uncuff me because those turnstile gates I couldn't pass with my hands handcuffed to the back. I kind of need force forward to push them so that I can get in. And then I get in. And as we go to the door, here's a man popping up. And he's like, I've been sent by your family. Right? This is moments just before he went to make that alleged confession. Right?
Yes. Yes.
And then he says, but you're saying you're sent by my family. Who sent you? You know, and he's like, they previously testified that he said Usisi, right? And then now he's like, but show me the number, show me the number of the person that you say contacted you on my behalf. Show me something, show me a message. And he's like, we'll talk later about that.
Yeah.
Don't you find that suspicious? It's very strange.
It is strange.
So even now, he says, I'm still waiting because we never spoke. Ntanzi saying he never spoke to Mjiyakho after this so-called alleged confession. And he did not know who the man was at the time on that day. And Ntanzi said that he found out his name later while he was speaking to the lady interpreter, not the white lady. So this is the inside now with Miss Krunye and Ms. Motlaping. Those are the two people that he's referring to when he's saying a lady interpreter is referring to Ms. Motlaping, a white lady he's referring to Miss Krunye. And he was sitting in a chair and the interpreter asked him for his name. This is Ntokozo Mjiyako. He's saying that Ntokozo Mjiyako was sitting on a chair.
The danger of this case, right? If you listen to it in passing, indeed you'll think that Ntanzi is contradicting the lawyers. Let me make an example.
Yeah.
I do not know Johannesburg, right?
Yes.
But where I was assaulted, I saw the firms around so.
I saw the towers.
The tower. I saw the towers, and then Ngomezulu knowing Johannesburg and listening to what was narrated by Ntanzi,
yes,
and the whereabout the last time where maybe he saw certain thing that he can identify, that must be Jimistin, right? And then he puts Jimistin. Right?
Yes.
But Ntanzi comes to court and he says,
I've never said
that.
Jimistin.
But I said I saw the firms. Now the question is, does that differ?
No.
No.
And what does it do to prove the state's
It just
case?
clarifies. No, you are testing the theory. It just clarifies that it was around Jimistin. AVL allows for that, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's proceed.
Then Ntanzi said that he forgot his surname at the time, this Mjiyakho, because to him it was an unusual surname, you know? And
it is an unusual surname also.
It is.
I am surprised when I read about this man. There's Freiheit there. I am surprised.
School.
I am very surprised. Is Freiheit? He stayed in Freiheit or is it from Freiheit?
No, in high school he did it's a boarding school that he attended in Freiheit, in KZN.
It's one of those surnames that since I grew up in KZN,
you don't know.
I've never heard of.
It's an unusual surname.
No, not in that side of Zululand. I've never heard of.
Well, is it not funny how he just appeared out of nowhere just before Ntanzi made a second confession? I mean, you can literally assume that when you listen to Ntanzi's version, that this person just literally came out of nowhere.
And on purpose, if you look at our title for today, what did we title this video as? Just for those, just read it, and probably you would have a bit of understanding.
What is the title?
Well, the title is simple. I did not ask a former, which is Mjiyakho, police spokesperson, I think. That's what I wanted to write.
Okay.
To represent me, says Ntanzi. There's ties, man. No, there's ties. There's ties. And those ties cannot be undone.
Well, the way Ntanzi portrays him, Jay, he's just appeared out of nowhere to ensure that this second confession stands in court because of maybe his presence there. Maybe his presence is so important that it solidifies the whole thing. But where is his appointment letter? I mean, where is his instructions from Ntanzi? Where is the letter of instruction? Where is the registry for him having visited Ntanzi prior? And where was he with the first confession? You know, and what did he think of the first confession? You understand what I'm saying? If he's claiming to be Ntanzi's lawyer, there are certain things there that do not add up. And why are you speaking to Brigadier Kininda a day before he goes and makes a second court appearance as well? Why are you submitting an LPC letter to Brigadier Kininda a day before he goes makes a confession? It's all very strange, you know.
It is.
And Ntanzi said that he would not know that interpreter lady, even if he was to see him today. You know, even when he saw her in court while she was testifying. She says he doesn't really know what she looks like, you know. He is not even sure if it is the one who was there while he was doing the alleged confession. And he's not sure if it's the same one who's testifying in court. Ntanzi said that the interpreter told him to sit, and he said that he was facing down at the time as he sat down. And there was a distance apart from each person in the room, and on the other side of the table there was a white lady, and she was busy on her laptop and also writing down. not knowing what it is she was busy with. Ntanzi said she didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know what this lady was writing, but she had a laptop in front of her and she was writing. And Ntanzi said that he is not even sure that that lady that came to testify as Miss Cronje, it was even her, because on that day she was wearing a mask and she never took that mask off. So the state is saying she was there for 3 hours, and Ntanzi is saying that in that time period, this lady did not take her mask off, and it was during the time of the pandemic in the country. So he would not be able to point her and say, like, this is the lady, according to his version. So it's very interesting. What I find interesting is the laptop situation, and the laptop that conveniently she pressed the recording button on. It's very interesting. So even his ID, he says he saw it there on the table, you know. He saw his ID on the table with Miss Cronje. And she was busy writing. Guys, how many people would you know that make confessions and their IDs just happen to be there? It's just all very strange. Ntanzi said that he cannot recall whether he introduced himself or introduced herself as a magistrate to him, and she never told him what was the purpose that she was there and what she was doing. So according to Ntanzi's version, he says that he did not understand at all what this lady, who this lady was, what was she doing, what was her purpose, why was he there with this lady in that room. Ntanzi is saying that that's his story, that's his version. And Ntanzi said that he never spoke to her. He was always looking down, and the lady would be talking to the interpreter. She was speaking in English, and Ntanzi said he does not know that language that he was speaking. She was speaking. Maybe it was even Afrikaans. Miss Cronje came to the court and testified in Afrikaans. You know, she did. And I am even surprised when Ntanzi saying she was speaking in English. Do you think she was speaking in English? I'm even surprised. So the interpreter was speaking in isiZulu. He said that he could see the door on his left. It was open, and he could see another white lady who had her arms folded. Ntanzi then clarified to say that he saw that white lady on the passage because the door was open. I'm like, man. Manje, who's this other white lady?
No, he's talking about the senior
of Miss Cronje.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Well, for now it's a speculation because we don't know for sure.
I think he's talking about the senior.
The one that Brigadier Gininda contacted.
Yes.
So she was also there. And the police did not mention her presence. Why?
I don't know.
Well, he said that he does not recall Mjiyakho speaking to the magistrate. And Ntanzi said that every time he would look at him, he was busy on his phone. So Batu Mjiyakho was there for Veiws, literally, according to Ntanzi. Was he on his phone? But Begala, okay? He was not saying anything, according to Ntanzi. And he says that he never saw him writing anything or using a pen. He was all the time busy on his phone. Asked if he made any reports to the magistrate, Ntanzi said that he told the interpreter. He said that Sisi, he wants to take a bath. That's what he said. He said, the moment I got into that room, I let that lady know that it's been days I want to take a bath. Right? Angezile. Sisi. I would like to call my family and let them know where I am. Asked if he had a child, and Ntanzi said that he has 3 children. He's got 3 children, guys. He's got 3 kids. What is happening to those kids right now?
A lot.
Ntanzi said that he had not changed clothing and he was still wearing the clothes he got arrested in. And if that's true, in my opinion, it means that they even ignored perhaps how dirty his clothes looked. And if he hadn't bathed, there was certainly a stench. And they chose to ignore that too. The condition that he was in as he made the confession was completely ignored, in my opinion. So asked about what happened to the clothes that he was wearing while he was being assaulted by my Ben at some stage, Ntanzi said that the clothes got lost at Valeria police station. Isn't that interesting?
You know what else is interesting? If you go down and then you just scroll to check Mjiyakho's duties. Now in April 2017
April
to December 2020. These are the duties. Managing and providing strategic political support and legal advice to members of Mayoral Committee MMC for Transport and Roads, directing and managing facilitating the interface between the political leadership and the city administration, directing and managing the implementation of executive political and communication strategy, monitoring the performance of the transport department, the Johannesburg Road Agents, JRA, and then Metropolitan Bus Company, which is Metro Bus, engaging and liaising with the strategic stakeholders, residents, minibus taxis industry, bus commuters and construction contractors, and SMMES on behalf of the MMC. Engaging and liaising with the other city departments, entities, and other spheres of government, planning and monitoring spending of the annual operation and capital budget of the Transport Department, JR, Metro Bus, to ensure compliance with the city policies and legislation, managing and leading the work of the staff in the office of the MMC. Legal administration officer, investigator, transactional commercial crimes, Captain, South African Police, Division, Crime Intelligence Operation, and Legal Support, Interpol, Pretoria, NCB. That is 2017 to 2020 December.
And he was busy also masquerading there at the...
Not masquerading. Don't say that. Don't say that.
But he was a captain of the police.
Allegedly.
So that is a lie. That profile is a lie.
I'm just saying that if you just go through the profile here.
He was a captain 2020 and there's a long list of duties that he was doing. But what I'm catching more of and the dominant duties, it has to do with Johannesburg City.
There's Pretoria here.
There's also Pretoria.
Yeah.
But Metro Bus, isn't it mainly in Johannesburg?
You see.
So if it's Pretoria and he's a captain, he was a captain. Now apparently he's an advocate.
Division, Crime Intelligence, Operational Legal Support, and Interpol, Pretoria. That is 2020. December.
But you were also reading something of legalizing for the city, the MMC, the government, the political.
So here's some information for those who want to go and read. Make your own mind. That's all we can do.
Go and read.
Go and read. I mean, information is available. Stop relying on mainstream. Stop relying on mainstream. Go and read. Do your own research. And come back. We will argue as much as we can. But if we're arguing with someone who just goes and listens to some SAPC 7 and comes back here and say, this is a case. Aye. Kahleni.
And we can pick it up if you haven't read much.
Yeah, it's easy to pick you up. It's a straightforward thing.
You can pick it up. I know maybe you're probably wondering, oh, no, but we can.
It's easy to pick you
You're
up.
looking at the surface. You don't really read a lot.
Yeah, one of those people, when they put food on the table, is like, they eat. No
Just
questions
because
asked.
it's being served by mainstream. And I also wanted to ask Mr. Anonymous about this. The clothes that he was assaulted in, allegedly, he says he lost them at Valeria police station.
It makes sense. You are supposed to lose them.
Asked if they were not taken on the day he was assaulted, Ntanzi said that he only received new clothes on the 13th of July, given to him by Lebohile and Buthelezi, and he also got toiletries on that day. So we are going to assume that his first bath, he took it on the 13th of July. Sure. Yeah. Sibanda then said Advocate Ngomezulu put it to Cronje that Dominic Mjiyako was not in the room where they were. And this is also needs to be double checked, in my opinion, because Sibanda has tendencies. I kept asking myself for a good 5 minutes as I'm watching and listening to this, that when did Ngomezulu say that? When did Ngomezulu say that? I'm wondering, but he followed up. He followed up with the record, and it was quite interesting. So he said that Advocate Ngomezulu put it to Cronje that Dominic Mjiyako was not in the room where you were.
So with all these duties, just out of curiosity, how did the so-called sister know that there is some Mjiyako who's part of what we just read now, and is going to be able to assist?
He left all those duties at the city, you know. Did you listen to those duties? They sound heavy. They are heavy duty. They are very serious responsibilities. He left them to go represent Ntanzi. He left them and went and represented Ntanzi. And we are supposed to not have questions.
No.
Then Ntanzi said, I never heard that because I informed Mr. Ngomezulu that I saw the gentleman in Boxback. I didn't even speak to him. All I said to him was, why is he here? And Sibanda said, Cronje said to Ngomezulu, your client must tell the truth. Mr. Mjiyako was in that room. So Cronje was denying it. She was literally saying that Mjiyako was in that room. And Ntanzi saying also that he was in that room and he was busy on his phone. And Ntanzi said that he would not be able to respond on behalf of Mr. Ngomezulu because he is present here in court. Sibanda said that it happened on the 20th of October 2023 and he read the record. Ntanzi was not present on that day. He doesn't even know Mr. Mjiyako. Ntanzi responded to say that if that person, Mjiyako, was representing him, he was going to tell the magistrate to inform the relevant parties to get toiletries for him so that he could get a bath. He said, Ntanzi, it shows that he was not representing me. He was not sent by anyone. He had come out of his trickster, thugger-ish ways. You know, and I end quote. He came there with his thuggery ways, according to Ntanzi. He was not there to represent him. He said he gave an example that if he was to make a request currently to Mr. Ngomezulu would make that request on his behalf in the court. That's what a lawyer does, right? So Sibanda then said, were there any police officers in that room? And Ntanzi said Mongani would come in and out speaking to that lady. Sibanda then read the record again for the 20th of October 2023. And it said, and I quote, Mgomezulu said this, all that was happening there, it happened in the presence of the police. 2 or 3 police that were there. Mongani and 2 other police officers. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, the record supports what you are saying. But does it mean that Mongani was never there though? What difference does it make? If he's saying that Mongani was in and out, right?
Yes.
Does it take him completely out of that room? To what end are we going to be asking these questions? Because they have no direction. What is the point, Mr. Sibanda? Where are we going with this? And Ntanzi said that the door was not closed when he entered. And I'm just enjoying the extra information you guys that Ntanzi is giving. I am taking this extra information and I'm analyzing this extra information. It's what I need. Right? So Ntanzi said that the door was not closed when he entered. And Jonathan and the other well-built gentleman, a muscle type of guy there, but he doesn't know his name. And he says that they were standing by the door. As Mongani was speaking to the white lady, Miss Grenier, he says he could hear the other 2 police officers by the door as he would turn and as the door was behind him, you know. And as Mongani opened the door, he would see them. And he said, when I stood up, when the door opened, I could see them standing by the door. Sibanda said that it is incorrect for Ntanzi to say that all that was happening there, it happened in the presence of police. Despite Ntanzi telling that Mongani would come in and out, he nailed Ntanzi to admit that behind the closed door, it was Ms. Grenier, Ntanzi, Ms. Mohlaping, and Mr. Mjiyako. Ntanzi then said that the door was open when Ms. Grenier was writing. The door was only closed after, for the time that she was writing, he could see the police officers by the door. And I thought to myself, those are very intimidating circumstances under which to make a confession. You know, you are chained and surrounded by police officers. That's a definition of freely and voluntarily, according to the police investigators of this case. That is their definition of freely and voluntarily making a confession. You are chained. There's many police officers. Even Ms. Grenier was scared. The way the police officers were many in her testimony while she was testifying. I mean, she left a little bit of clues. She left a little bit of drips and drabs. And I still can't get over when she said that she felt threatened or she felt scared, you know. I'm like, that is freely and voluntarily, according to the investigators of this case. You are in chains and a lot of police officers holding rifles. That's freely and voluntarily to them. Thank you. Ntanzi then said he does not know the time because he was sitting with that lady. That lady would type on her laptop and then get up to speak to the other white lady in the passage. He said that he has no idea what they would be talking about. So Ntanzi gave us extra information today that Ms. Grenier, throughout taking the confession, according to his version, okay, Ms. Grenier obviously denied any wrongdoing, you know, but Ntanzi saying that she would get up, go to the lady in the passage, come back, get up, go to the door, the lady at the passage, come back, get up. There's a laptop as well that's there. She's writing. Get up, go to the lady at the passage, come back. Get up, go to Mongani, come back. The only thing I recall where Ms. Grenier was saying that she got up in her own testimony and her own version of events, she was saying that she got up to ask for the appointment cards of the police that were there. And she said she didn't get all of them. Some of them, when she returned, they went back. So that does, say that she did get up at some point, especially at the beginning. But the rest, that Ntanzi is now giving a version of that she would get up, speak to the lady of the... And Miss Cronje didn't speak of the lady in the passage either.
He said he got a call.
But the lady in the passage...
No, I'm saying he said he got a call from the... I think if I remember, from the senior.
But she did not say that the senior was there.
Yes, I mean, it hasn't been said outrightly that he was there, she was there, or he was there. All I'm saying is that it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. And I agree with you. But why did they not place her there? Why did they not say she was there? Why isn't Ntanzi the only one who speaks of this white lady in the passage? Why didn't the police officers speak of seeing her?
You know how Sibanda was made? The same way. You are saying why. Think about you asking that question to that lady because of what Ntanzi has said.
So I must not ask questions.
No, you must ask that question, but I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just shocked.
That's the line that Sibande is following on the other side. Sibande seems to have taken a position of believing everything that is said by these other people, hence discrediting everything that comes with that. But that's
his job. He's the state.
Yes. You are also saying, why was he not mentioned?
By the state people. I'm very interested
because
in this white lady
according to them,
now.
he was never there. She was never there, according to them. Right? In their theory, she was never there.
Now I want to know that white lady. I really want to. I'm curious. But I'll leave it alone.
All I'm saying is that, okay, I get you why you're saying that. I get you why you're probing, why that person was not mentioned. But they have taken a theory. They have created their own theory, or they have, I don't know. It's not to say that they have created it. It's alleged.
And I believe that white lady, yes, Mr. Anonymous, you're saying I'm Sibanda, but yes, I do believe that white lady was there.
You say now that's fair. If you say that,
I do believe
yeah,
that
that's a fair one. That's a fair one.
My question is, why is it that Ntanzi is the only one who saw her? Ms. Grenier didn't say anything. So, Sibanda read the record again when Gomezulu said that Ntanzi did not sign or put his initials on the document. Ms. Grenier was writing, especially, she was writing, looking at the laptop and writing on the document. So Ntanzi said that he only signed the document on that day because he believed that it was a note to his grievances of not having had a bath and having had made a phone call. So Sibanda went through each and every page.
So on the basis, let us not be blinded. On the basis that no evidence so far, because you always have to put the so far part in this case.
Yes.
Has been produced of Mjiyakho meeting Ntanzi prior to Ntanzi going to testify
to make a confession
on that magistrate. We can literally not even worry ourselves who was there, who was not there. If nothing is produced to prove that Ntanzi did not meet this person prior. Do you understand? There's no need for us to even look at what happened in that house. Because that would mean that Kininde then lied. And that would actually create a question of saying that, then who invited Mjiyakho then? Because that plea deal is supposedly made on the basis that the lawyer asked for that, right?
Yes.
That's what Ginindi said.
Yes, on his client's behalf.
Hence, Ntanzi had to go do a second confession.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
So Ntanzi is saying, no, we never met in any court. No record is supporting that in any case. We met at the door of that
Boxback Magistrate Court.
Why would they lie about that?
Why?
Create a theory that now, or even an impression that there was an agreement between the lawyer and the accused. Hence, they had to go there. So everything then is bogus. That if that is the case, everything is just from there onward. Anything that is said on that thing just does not.
If there was a plea deal, and the state is denying the 3 million.
Yes.
What must we believe now? Because they're saying Ntanzi is lying about the 3 million, but they brought up the plea deal.
And the plea deal is not living up to what we should expect to see. Here's the proof. You said with the lawyer. Here's the proof. Your lawyer said 1, 2, 3. And then we took you on that one. And then you went there. But then again, Ginindi on his own weight says that plea deal was left unfulfilled because they were asking for unreasonable stuff. Hence, at some point I asked, why then did they have to go for that confession if that plea deal did not materialize?
Yes, good question.
So, you would not understand this if you go to SABC after knocking off at 5 and you listen to that 5-minute summary. You would come back and be pushing your theories here.
Well, then Ramasipili stood to object as Sibanda wanted to ask Ntanzi about the annexure of the pro forma. And he said that they are only dealing with the pro forma. So Sibanda was attempting to go an extra mile and ask Ntanzi about an annexure, not the pro forma itself. The pro forma is that confession of his, the so-called confession of his that Ms. Grunier was writing.
Yes.
And you know, it's interesting. She was taking the confession. Ntanzi saying, I don't know what language she was speaking. And there's an interpreter as well. And speaking via the interpreter, you know, and translating, you know, and writing down and taking from the interpreter and writing down. That process in itself is very interesting.
Yes.
It's something that I wish I could see, but we are never going to see it. It happened, it's gone. So Ntanzi said that he never denied his signature. And he says that the initials, it is possible that they were taken at the time that he was forcefully being made to sign. And he said that he never denied his signature in court. And what he is denying is that he wrote to those initials on every single page in front of the magistrate. It could be that he wrote to those initials when Brigadier Gininda came to him with those documents to say, you think you're smart, you're going to sign this. Okay, I'm being extra, but yeah. Sibanda said initially it was a bare denial. And Ntanzi said that it means that the lawyer did not speak well on his behalf. Again, I always felt like, no, Ntanzi, no, put it in a different manner. But I understand.
This is where soccer needs to work, man. That you don't put it like that.
Put it in a different way. Like, put it in a different
way. Ayikho wrong.
Ayikho wrong. But thola indlela.
Indlela uyibeke ngayo.
Yeah, Then Sibanda said, was there for almost 3 years. Ntanzi was there 3 hours, my apologies. Ntanzi was sitting in that office with the magistrate in room 2 for almost 3 hours. And Ntanzi said that he did not have the time. The magistrate is the one who knows the time. So Sibanda said that Ms. Grenier was never confronted with the claim from Ntanzi that she would get up to seek or to speak to the other white lady and to come and write and go back to the white lady and come back and write. Ntanzi said that he believes that as he is before this court, he's also has a mouth to speak for himself. He said that he would not come to the box if he could not speak for himself. So he means the witness box. So that I couldn't come to this witness box if I couldn't speak for myself. So Sibanda said your version is misleading when Ntanzi says that Ms. Grenier kept going in and out of the office. And Ntanzi said, I'm telling the truth. That's how the state sees it. And Sibanda reminded Ntanzi that he said that he was facing down, repeated the, good eye contact part again that Ms. Grenier wrote down, because Ms. Grenier was saying that Ntanzi had good eye contact.
Something very odd about our judge, our doctor.
Yes.
Very commando. They go extra mile in explaining things that they are not qualified to explain. No, being a lawyer does not mean that you can read how people are feeling through their eyes. I think that would be a psychological part.
Oh, it sounds imposing. It's imposing, really.
Do you understand? Same as the doctor who went extra, the dentist who went extra mile to do what a GP would do.
There's that level of imposing.
There is that.
Now she's a psychologist.
What makes them feel the need to go extra mile? That's my question. Your job was to take the statement and make sure that the statement is taken properly. You followed everything, and that's where you come in as a law person, right? But now you are telling us about the body language and all these other things that you are not qualified to do.
Ntanzi said that she's telling lies when she says that he was making good eye contact. He asked why it was not addressed to Ms. Grenier, that question in particular, And Ntanzi said that he would not be able to answer for Mr. Mgomezulu, and he would not be able to address the court regarding that. So court resumed after the tea adjournment, and Sibanda picked up with the sitting arrangements in the room where the confession statement was taken. Sibanda said so from where she was seated, she could look at you and you could look at her. And Ntanzi said, how would we have looked at each other when I was faced down and stressed that I hadn't bathed and had swollen wrists? And the fact that I couldn't call my family and let them know of my whereabouts. Days had passed since June 16. And Sibanda said, do you have a scar on the right side of your forehead? And how did you sustain that scar? And Ntanzi said that he doesn't know how he got that scar. And he says he grew up like this. It's always been there. And Sibanda said, okay, good. How would she have seen it if you were not looking at each other? Ntanzi said that the scar is too big not to see it. In my opinion, Ntanzi is one strong person, because these questions, honey. Sibanda then said she wrote here that the scar on the right looked healed and that you sustained it when you were a child. Ntanzi said that surprises him. Okay, so Sibanda said so she was misleading the court. Ntanzi said, I still say that I don't know that how I sustained this injury, and I don't know that I sustained this injury while I was a child. So Ntanzi is denying telling Ms. Grenier that he got that scar from being a child. And Sibanda said that, I repeat, was she misleading the court? And Ntanzi said, I don't know, because she never asked me. And Sibanda said, was she challenged? And Ntanzi said, I don't know. A lot of things are asked here in court.
I'm sorry to disturb you. Because I've got a message on WhatsApp saying that please tell the moderator Langa he timed out the wrong David with crying emojis.
Okay, Dave. Askis, we are sorry. We apologize if you did not say anything wrong. We apologize. Tokosi Silanga.
They're saying you timed out the wrong one.
Please untime David. The one you are. How will he be able to see? Kind of, you are able to see when you've timed out a person. I've had to do that a couple of times before. Now I can't, guys, because I'm the host. So Sibanda said, I put it to you that this is new evidence. You are fabricating it. Magistrate Kunye was never challenged. And Ntanzi said, even my legal representative never asked me about what happened. More especially with regards to the scar. They can see the scar, they've seen the scar, but they've never asked me about the scar. Hey, Ntanzi. Ntanzi Pezugaki. Yes, he's fighting for his life. Okay. So Sibanda then said, do you have any other scar on the face? And Ntanzi pointed between the eyes. And Sibanda asked, Magistrate Kunye also pointed it out and wrote it here that it's healed. And Ntanzi said, I don't know where she got that from. So Sibanda said, so would you say that is not a person who was faced directly towards the magistrate? And Ntanzi said, I believe that as I'm seated here, I would not be faced down the entire time. My head and neck would get tired. So I would look up and down, right? And it's not like he didn't testify that he would look at the passage. That
is also surprising me.
I
mean, the man said it, that he was also looking around, you know.
You know, he said it, that he was looking around. He even saw Mjiyakho behind there, busy on his phone. So maybe he didn't want to look Magistrate Kunye in the eye, considering what his allegations is, saying that he didn't take a bath. I mean, even Buthelezi did mention that Ntanzi, the time that they met at Rustenburg, he didn't look him in the eye. We are Kumbul. Buthelezi, the friend, he said that. He said Ntanzi looked down most of the time. He looked defeated.
Yes.
So Sibanda then said, so why did you not say that? And Ntanzi said that I hope when I'm saying that I'm looking at you straight, I'm looking at you like this, just like that other Usisi, I'm looking at them straight. So in my opinion, looking at a person does not equate to looking at them straight in the eyes. You know?
Yes.
I can look at you, but not look you in the eyes.
Yes.
So Mr. Sibanda's argument, man, is not made sure, in my opinion. So Sibanda read the part where Miss Grenier wrote injury sustained when grandmother tried to hit a chicken and a blow landed on my forehead.
That was a story. When was it? Was it de novo?
Chicken story? It was. I heard it when Miss Grenier was testifying. She put it in the confession.
No, it was not said by the defense.
No, it wasn't said by the defense. It's from Miss Grenier's writing of the so-called confession in the pro forma. This chicken story took me out. Here's the reason why it took me out.
No, it doesn't make sense, in fact. So,
they're not even. She didn't even mention what the gogo used to strike. She just said a blow. When I'm thinking a blow, I'm thinking a punch. What is a blow? Is a blow not a punch?
Obviously, you have to think of a punch.
So he's saying that this grandmother tried to hit a chicken, right? and a blow landed in Ntanzi's forehead. Maybe she was trying to hit a chicken, and then a blow landed on Ntanzi's forehead.
And Ntanzi never lived with the grandma. Worse of it. Because from maternal side, there was no grandma.
And another thing, if this blow happened, it was so intense that it left Ntanzi with a scar for life.
Oh, let's say maybe there was a stone. I think there was a stone theory there. But we don't do that with chickens at home. If we have to slaughter, we chase them.
And then we grab them.
We catch them.
Yes.
We don't khubatsa them just so that we slaughter. No.
And you say choo-choo to a chicken. A chicken is not troublesome, eh? I also grew up around chickens. With chicken, you just shoo, shoo, shoo. You know? You don't have to be using bricks to be throwing. You know the story, chicken. This chicken story is not make sure. This chicken story is not balancing. This chicken story. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, we had chickens in our yard when I was still growing up. I was still a child. And I would shoo a chicken, you know. Or I'll be like, hey, you know, a chicken will run. A chicken understands the message very quickly. I never had in my life had to pick up a brick or a stone to throw at a chicken. For what? When I'm gonna eat it and need it on Sunday. Why would I wanna murder a chicken like that with a brick or with something hardcore like that? Like really now. Like this chicken story needs to be polished. It's not landing in me. I'm struggling. That's all I'm going to say with regard to the chicken story. Now, moving on. Ntanzi had a small laugh in disbelief, in my opinion, because I heard it. It was like, perhaps she had written which grandmother, then it would make sense, because he does not know his paternal grandmother, which is the grandmother from his father's side. Even as he grew older, he says he started going to his father's home when he was older, around 2003, if he's not mistaken. So, this grandmother, in his older self, chicken blow, he throws a blow, he's trying to throw the chicken, blow, and it leaves a scar that won't go away. The judge said something when Sibanda asked.
The explanation does not tell me this is someone who grew up in villages. Do you understand? It tells me this is someone who grew up in town, if you get me, who's afraid of chickens, maybe sometimes. Because, I mean, not a person from villages saying that, it would not make sense. So unless Ntanzi then also grew up in villages,
in a town, and they're afraid of chickens or something.
Yeah, you know, and then they don't.
Shoo. I used to throw chickens out of the house.
They just throw a stone, boom. Aye, man.
I never had drama with a chicken.
You know, these stories are just. It's something you would hear from Inganegwan. You know, when someone tells you those fairy tale stories.
They sound like that.
Yes.
The heart condition.
Even people who were thinking about them, it's like they didn't think enough. They were not eager to think more.
Careful now. You may just challenge them. Next thing we know.
No, I'm just saying. That come on, don't even go there. I don't want that here. We have never reached that point. We're talking about public opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you are going to say something on my behalf, the question is, you must also think about me. How would Mr. Anonymous put this? You know? I'm just saying, if it happened that
But
all
what
these
if you
stories.
have no experience of Mr. Anonymous? You can't have an experience of another human being.
I don't know, man, but do something. You can't just say Mr. Anonymous talked about a chicken being struck using a stone. That's not me. That cannot be me.
A blow landed on the forehead.
I can't.
The judge said something when Sibanda asked Ntanzi if his legal representative had not told him about the chicken story. Ntanzi said Mr. Ramosipili read it to him and he disputed it and told him that is a big lie. Sibanda put it to him that it was not challenged. Ntanzi said even his lawyer, Mr. Mgomezulu, never asked him about the scar. Ntanzi said that Mgomezulu arrived when the lady was about to testify and did not have enough time to talk to him. So he cannot respond for Mr. Mgomezulu whether he asked or not.
And then the pattern of Ntanzi being, I questioned it yesterday and someone answered. It's a very interesting answer. Ntanzi now and then being the reason of the court starting late, being late. Someone said that it could be that they are trying to make sure that there is no consultation before the court starts. And I seem to believe that theory more than anything. I seem to align with that theory because obviously there is no time.
Yes, he's just thrown. The moment he arrives, he's thrown into the witness box.
You don't warm up, nothing.
No.
Go there, I call.
You don't even have a time to pray. You don't have time to do anything that will just put you in the moment. You arrive, witness box. Azish. So Ntanzi disputed that he told Ms. Grenier that his attorney was Mr. Mjiyakho, and he said that he was never asked. Ntanzi denied Mjiyakho as his lawyer, and he said Mjiyakho is the one who approached him, and he asked him who sent him, and he said he will speak to him later. Ntanzi said that he wanted to see the numbers of his brother, sister, or mother because he knows them by head. Sibanda said that Brigadier Gininda testified that he received a call from Mjiyakho on the 23rd of June and he told him that he will represent Ntanzi. And Ntanzi said he put lelo, meaning that it's a big lie, And at some point he had to correct Ubabu Jonas there to say that a big Kulu is not a mistake, it's a lie. It's a respectable manner that he's putting it in.
And then Sibanda started.
Yeah, he says a person who makes a lie is a liar. In my opinion, I honestly felt like he was trying to intimidate him and force Ntanzi to...
Obvious, he was trying to make sure that he doesn't use that word. How about the people that were here?
They called them liars. They said Ntanzi is a liar.
When Mgomezulu tried to go to that route, the judge said there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. So he was saying, I'm saying it in a respectable way when I say Kulumi Pota. But it doesn't change the meaning. But on the record,
it can be interpreted as unamanga.
Yes. In isiZulu, it's unamanga vele. It's just that it's a respectable way. So Sibanda said that he must refrain from using lies and liar because he won't appreciate it if it's done to him. So what must be said?
The judge did not see and say anything about
he
that. He
was quiet.
While when Mgomezulu was raising that, there was much mumbling.
According to Sibanda, Ms. Grenier did not write that Ntanzi had leg irons. And even Ntanzi mentioned that even the shoes, she did not write in that pro forma what kind of shoes he was wearing. So she did not really pay attention to the leg irons that were on the legs because they're also not written in that pro forma. So Sibanda wanted to use, initially when she testified, I remember raising this and I honestly felt like she left the leg irons on purpose. In my opinion, obviously I'm speculating. This is my speculation. So I'm saying in that kind of position she was in, perhaps she left the leg irons out on purpose because they would not support this freely, voluntarily type of confession. So Sibanda wanted to use the LPC letter Mjiyakho gave to Brigadier Kininda, asking where would Brigadier Kininda have received that letter, and Ramasipili objected to say that it's speculation. The judge allowed Sibanda to continue in that line of cross-examination. Now my question I have is, why hasn't Brigadier Kininda produced that record of Mjiyakho's visit to Ntanzi on the 23rd of Veiws? Like why isn't it there?
A lot of things in this court have not been produced when they needed to produce them. A lot of things.
And when they do
and
come,
they disappear. After that, no one follows up. They do. Kushem defense try to follow up. Like now, they try to follow up. When even Sibanda, when he finished cross-examining Sibiya, he was supposed to bring that charge sheet.
Yes. Did it ever come, that charge sheet?
No.
So, according to Ntanzi, Ms. Mohlaping made him sign under the pretense that he will get toiletries. He thought that he was signing for that. And I remember yesterday him saying that
you know his theory is spot on, because look at it. He signed one page. I'm even doubting those initials were by him. If you can just get time and say, Ntanzi, look at this writing.
Is this your handwriting?
Would you say this is your handwriting? Maybe you'll realize.
Please write for me BS here. Let me see how you write it. Do you have a document where you've had to fill in your initials with you? Where can I find it? Has a contract, your employment contract? Can I have a look at it when you signed and initialed every single page in your employment contract? I want to see something.
Because he's saying signature is mine, but the signature is in one page. What kind of, normally when you are going to sign and initial, you initial and sign. Some you would sign, some you would. But this one
somewhere in the middle, there'll be somewhere
where you have to
sign.
But this one only at the back.
Well, then Ntanzi said that they rewrote that statement. It was also a very long, tussle. But then Ntanzi eventually said it, that according to him, they rewrote that statement. Because the pages that are presented in court, it doesn't have blood in it, and he was bleeding his handcuffs while he was being made and forced to sign.
A very good point. I thought of it when that magistrate was there. It is important to start when you lay the basis. Would you say this is your statement? Would you say this is your handwriting? Because if you ask me, I don't think she would have written the statement herself again.
Do you think so? If she had done it.
If there was something like that, as Ntanzi is speculating.
But now I also thought of it differently as well. To say that perhaps there's a reason why there was a laptop.
There was no writing there.
Perhaps that laptop served the purpose.
What purpose?
Like the laptop. Why was it there? In my opinion.
What is your theory?
My theory, or what I'm thinking. I'm speculating, guys. I'm speculating. It's my speculation.
It's alleged.
So I'm thinking, okay, she was in there with a laptop that probably had the details of the confession or everything that she needed to write. Then maybe she did write while she was sitting with Ntanzi in there and she was writing that confession. But in my speculation, it was from the laptop. And then as Ntanzi now says that I was signing and there was blood in it, perhaps Miss Grenier was asked to rewrite it again. And because the same story was in the laptop, it was just a matter of copying and transferring to a different page. In my opinion, in my speculation. Because Ntanzi saying he wasn't asked any questions. Miss Grenier was writing, getting up, asking the lady at the passage, writing. Perhaps the confession was on the laptop. I don't know. Cheyenne, I'm just speculating. So on the question of legal representation asked by Magistrate Grenier, Sibanda said that it's recorded that Ntanzi said Mjiyakho is his lawyer. And Ntanzi said, I do not know about this and I was never asked. So Sibanda referred Ntanzi to the events of the 23rd of June, the day before the confession statement, and the document handed to Ntanzi referred to evidence handed in by Gininda. And he said that this is the document that Mjiyakho handed to him during his visit to Ntanzi at the police station. So why would I then ask him about who sent him when I knew him and this document is all a lie? Well, Sibanda said the LPC then furnished a document that says that Mjiyakho is a legal practitioner and became an advocate in 2021. Ntanzi said that he had leg irons, which the state has labeled as new evidence. So Sibanda said if you had leg irons, the magistrate would have recorded it because she recorded that you were accompanied by heavily armed policemen. Ntanzi reiterated that he can only confirm that he signed the document, and he said that he can barely recall where he attached his initials, but thinks it could have been when he was forced by Gininda. Sibanda then said Gininda said he was not there, and Ntanzi said he was there. So Sibanda gave Ntanzi the document, and he said, show us where the blood is. A plan could have been made to remove that blood, said Ntanzi. So yes, guys, that's my theory. Mr. Anonymous, you went quiet. Why?
I'm quiet because I'm reading something, but I'm just quiet because I'm reading something.
I thought my speculation spooked you.
No, it did not.
Well, in the post-long adjournment, Sibanda insisted that the documents had no blood, and Ntanzi said that he made the initials BS in the field where he was being assaulted to initial. So he finally admitted that perhaps they could have happened while he was there being tubed and everything, and they were like initial here, because he did say that Brigadier Gininda had a lot of papers with him that he wanted him to sign. It seems like it wasn't just the pro forma, perhaps there were many other documents that he was not aware what he was signing. So with the magistrate, he only gave his signature. So Ntanzi said that Brigadier Gininda was holding many documents and telling him where to sign. And Sibanda said that on the pro forma, there's only one place to sign. So Sibanda told him to point where he signed, and Ramasepile stood to object that the witness is being confused. Well, I also picked it up. I picked up the point or the fact that Ntanzi, in his head, signing and initialing means the same thing. Did you pick that up?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like he couldn't differentiate between signing and putting their initials. And because Sibanda is Sibanda, he also didn't make it clear, because at the end of the day, it seems like the aim is to confuse Ntanzi so that he says wrong stuff. Right. So it was like he's not understanding the question. To him, or maybe he is understanding the question, but to him, signing and initialing means the same thing. To him, putting initials is the same as signing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Ramasepile stood to object and said that the witness is being confused. Ntanzi said that the initials BS may have been imprinted them where he was assaulted and at the industrial area. He never said that he signed where he was assaulted in the industrial area. So the judge asked Mr. Sibanda what was his response, and Sibanda said that he will respond by asking another question. So Sibanda said when Gininda presented those documents, were you only asked or forced to initial and also to place a signature? And Ntanzi said that the signature was the only thing he put. He only put that signature with the magistrate, and Brigadier Gininda told him to initial the BS while he was being assaulted on every single page. So that's why he kept insisting that those pages should have blood, but then the ones in court do not have blood. And the big question is, what could have happened? What could have happened? Is Ntanzi lying? Number one, he was not bleeding. Number two, could they have been rewritten somewhere else and fresh ones were brought? Or as he was initialing something like 3 copies of the same document? That's another option that we have to consider. Or did he initial and then the person who initially wrote it was told, write it again? Write it again because this one has blood. So Sibanda said that there are no blood stains on those documents. You know, back in the day, old-fashioned, I don't know whether now it's still happening in South African courts, but I used to hear about how you cannot fake someone's signature or handwriting. Back in the day, people would submit their diaries as evidence, right? You would narrate something traumatic that has happened to you, and then you'd keep it in a diary. That diary would become your character witness on your behalf, and it used to be taken very seriously back in the day. But now that there's technology, obviously there are better ways to record, but then at the same time, does it have the same weight that a diary used to have in a court of law? So I'm just curious. I'm asking for my own curiosity there.
Let's hope you get the answer.
So Sibanda then said that there are no blood stains on those documents, and Ntanzi said that he still has a scar on his wrist as a result from that bleeding from the handcuffs. And of course, no one is interested in seeing those scars. So Sibanda said, so you are saying all police officers agreed to enter no injuries into the occurrence book. Ntanzi repeated that the thing of police officers asking if there was any complaint, he said that he first saw it in prison cells, not jail cells at the police station. He says at the jail cells at the police station, that was not happening.
Yes.
And he had never seen the occurrence books being made entries. He said Mohani would leave him in a car, right? And go and come back and fetch him and then lock him and then go back. He says he'd never seen them literally every process that they would follow, enter with him and then fill the occurrence book or have somebody fill, and Mkhani would hand over. According to Ntanzi's version, that was not happening, right? And he's saying that it being made entries where he was going to report to. So Sibanda then said, did you make any statement before Magistrate Gunya? And Ntanzi said, if I made a statement, then it would have been in isiZulu. It would have been in Zulu. I can write in isiZulu. I never made that statement. So Ntanzi said that he doesn't know what he was being made to be initialed in that industrial area as he was being tortured. So Sibanda then said, I put it to you that the police did not force you to initial the pro forma as well as the statement. Put it, when Sibanda. Put it. Then Ntanzi said, if I was not forced, then there would not have been those BS initials. I was not going to sign anything. And Ntanzi also at that point, I felt like he was confusing signing and initialing to mean the same thing. So court took 5 minutes adjournment as Sibanda said he wanted to consult his colleague, Advocate Baloyi, on his cross-examination. And I was like, guys, do you remember the times that Mgomezulu would be requesting 5-minute adjournment just to get his thoughts together, just to consult a little bit? While he would ask for those 5 adjournments, they would be shut down. Nyakombola.
Yebo.
Well, Sibanda, when they came back, he said, it is your version that you were not assaulted on the 24th of June 2020 before making a statement before Magistrate Kunye. Sibanda introduced a document from the Tlhabane Magistrate Court appearance on the 13th of July 2020. Ntanzi still maintained that he never went out inside the court. He never made a court appearance. And Ntanzi said him and Mjiyakho never met face to face. He threw out the CC, the sister who was sent by Mjiyakho to him. I remember they were speaking of another representation of a lady that was sent by Mjiyakho. Ntanzi saying that he kicked her out as well. So Sibanda asked again if Ntanzi was sure that Mjiyakho never ever made an appearance on his behalf. Well, Ramasipili stood to object that even in the morning, Advocate Baloyi said that he would get the court transcripts for the Tlhabane court appearance. And he said that he would bring them. So it's unfair to put those questions and expect the witness to answer without those records being with the witness or being explained to the witness. And Ramasipili said that Mr. Sibanda, they say you don't know your story. This was actually the judge. Mr. Sibanda, they say that you don't know your story. I'm like, okay, that's a first. I thought we are the only ones seeing it for a moment. I thought the public was the only one seeing that there's something off. So the way he chose to ask this question, the judge, I cracked up. I had a crackle. I was like, I. At least, well, Sibanda then said that he can continue, and if it was already placed to the witness, they can deal with the issue of the transcription at a later stage. So Advocate Baloyi said that he received an email from the court manager in Rustenburg, and he said that court appearance transcriptions will be sent by email immediately. He said immediately, and this was at 14:15. So immediately, okay, it's more like an hour or a day later because they had to adjourn now until tomorrow. So immediately is not that immediate. So there was an adjournment. We'll wait for the transcripts tomorrow.
Let us hear what you have to say. Call us. But before you do that, please like the video, share the video, and let's hear your opinion. What do you have to say? Hi.
But overall, Ntanzi maintained his truth, you guys. He really did.
That's the gist of the story.
The gist is that as much as Sibanda wants to shred him, rip him to pieces, make him go cuckoo, whatever the aim he's trying to do, or make him break down, Ntanzi maintained his story.
And
there's nothing shocking. That's why I don't consider those contradictions that they are making them to be. To me, it's not hating his story in any way that would say you were there at Fosler's house.
Hi, Mzansi. Hi, Mr. Anonymous. Hi, Emily. How are you guys?
Hi, Jonathan.
Hi. Say, how are
Hello?
you? How are you, Jonathan?
I'm very well. Had a nice week being away from you guys, but I'm happy to be back.
Welcome back.
Just a feed from this week, or maybe yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, I think for me, watching this court case this week felt like back in the days when we used to come home and your parents or someone, or if you had sisters, they were watching Bold and the Beautiful, and then it was Days of Our Lives. It felt like the same thing, even if you came days after. The same thing would be happening. Yes. It felt like that this week.
Yes.
Repeating of something. Of the same narrative, trying to catch him off guard or trying to catch him in a lie. And I have to say I've been very much happy with Ntanzi. Sometimes frustrated, but at the long run, you start seeing that, just the added information does have a place within the narrative of his story and his lived experience. That the lawyers could not share because it's a personal thing.
Yes.
And obviously, one thing that I know that does happen is that if you asked me about anything that happened last week, I can't even tell you that. And I take off my hats for Ntanzi to remember the details. Yes, at some times it's the words that he chooses to use.
Yes.
In terms of, I don't know, or I'm not going to answer that. Where it seems like Ngomezulu is being thrown under the bus, but I think Ngomezulu is much of a big man to understand his client and to understand. Ntanzi is not his first client, so he would have dealt with people who are treated in such a manner. And remember, he also has said to Ngome, what's this guy's Genindi, that he's familiar to his, probably, maybe I'm paraphrasing, to his tactics. So he might know him for things like this and understands his client in what predicament his client is faced with, even if it seems like he's being thrown under the bus. I see that man sitting back, chilled, biding his time. And to everybody who's afraid that Ntanzi is being thrown to the deep end of the water, remember, Ramasipili would come back because the defense is now the one who has been leading this witness. So obviously they have to come back after Sibanda. So they will have their second bite and they would have to set a lot of things straight. I don't think a lot, because many things were repeated by Sibanda. It's just that they need to really focus on what is crucial, because that's what Sibanda did today. At times where he came back to break, I think it was, he would say, on this matter, I think, because remember, the matter was dealing with the trial within a trial.
Yes.
Because he was trying to link everything to the trial between the trial. I forgot what that was, but there was a moment where he had to go back to just make sure that he catches Ntanzi on, is this what you said? Because that I can't remember now really, but it was something that would actually catch Ntanzi about the whole thing. So it's almost like if I speak a lot and I say, if you didn't hear what I said, you remember this, or what I said, what the gist of what I said was this. I forgot what it was, but it was something in that line. But I don't want to be long, but I think just to say that to all of us watching, I think my heart goes out to Ntanzi, that he had to go through this. And I'm happy that at times he could say, it's my first time being arrested, which means to everyone, don't expect me to be a seasoned criminal who knows the ins and outs.
Yes.
Whatever I'm facing and the questions that I'm facing, I'm dealing with them for the first time. And this is how I'm answering them. And I'm also happy that Ntanzi corrected Jonas in interpreting what he was saying.
Yes.
All the best. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Zanzi, hello.
Hello, Mr.
I'm alright, sir. How are you?
Good, buddy. How is Mr.
Oh, you're breaking.
Guys, doing us update. Actually, I need to put on my LinkedIn portal list. Firstly, why is it that in every case that Gininga is in confessions that made?
It's a good question.
Golden question.
Yeah, in every case, I've been trying to follow up this gentleman. And secondly, actually, you can't have a lawyer and then the lawyer just sits there without altering a single word. Guys, that's impossible. That's the very same thing that Advocate Mshololo was fighting against this judge, saying, I'm representing The client shouldn't speak for himself. I'm here for him.
Yes.
I'm the mouthpiece of the client.
Yes.
Yes. So she was fighting and directly communicate with the court. But the judge saw it fit to ask the client directly. See, I mean, we are living in let me call it who is this guy from Zimbabwe? Mugabe. I think our judiciary is going down that line. It's being captured. I know because I always listen to you guys. I know you are trying to, what is it? Is it to shield from those attacks? Because some of the people have already got some attacks from whatever they alter to the public. They got backlash from the government. That's the government actually. So we're living in the apartheid regime again. And the good part again on the last, this is the last. The very same judge that is sitting there is sentenced this Mdluli. Remember the case of Mdluli?
Yes, I do.
You do remember?
Yes.
He sentenced that guy without concrete evidence, but the mere effect of he knew how cruel the cops are. He knows the operand of the cops, how they operated, and that is after the clerk stuff. He knows how all the cops that were taught to punish. In order for you to get a confession, you have to punish the black. So it's the same operanda that Kininda is just carrying on about. And I'm feeling pity because our government is also going the same way. Guys, that's my input. Actually, I love your show, guys. I listen to it, even if I miss it today. Actually, this side is still around. What's the time actually? To me, is around. That's 11:01. So I wait for you guys. It's good because I'm on the night shift, but I always listen to you guys. You're doing a great show. Guys, carry on, and I wish you guys maybe one day you open your own radio show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. You have a powerful and happy good night or good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
We tried to let you finish. The line was a bit disappointing because it was breaking, but at the end of the day, we could hear, we got the gist of the story, and we understand where you come from. Let's keep the calls coming. Like the video, share the video. We are here. Let's hear what people want to say.
Call in. The number is scrolling down on the screen. If you have anything that you want to share, anything you're gonna get rid of in your chest.
Hello, Emily. Now I'm Mr. Anonymous. I hope you guys are well. I think guys, Usibanda is trying to be clever. Angazi noma mhlambe kuvumelekile ena court lento ayenzayo le ndaba yokuthi abuze umbuzo owodwa and nalento yakhe yokuthi abuze omunye umbuzo and ethe saphendula lo mbuzo lo uNtanzi and he will go back to another question mhlambe akayibuzile Monday or yesterday. I remember when uGininda ubekade eseboxing umshololo, I think it was advocate Mshololo, uma ngabe buza some of the questions and Gininda will reply saying that question has been answered. So kudlulwe lapho angazi noma mhlawumbe kufair yini because I see ijudge liyamiyekela uSibanda. He has been doing that since lokho eqalile cross examine. I don't know if kufair, and I think if uthi enye into this Sibanda guy is trying to take angizothi mhlawumbe like he is trying to take an advantage because allegedly we've heard that uNtanzi uke waba nenkinga ngomqondo but he refused to go to kwadokotela. I think mhlambe he is trying to crack him taking that advantage ngendaba mhlambe yomqondo kaNtanzi mhlambe kwaphazamiseka allegedly. That's my contribution for today. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
So thank you from us. all again that is said here is alleged, and if that what is said about the mind and brain,
there's an allegation.
it's an allegation, and by the looks of things, there's a bit of a smoke there. Why would you keep someone for this long asking nothing other than repeating the same questions
over and over? Even if you didn't have any mental issues, even a normal person, that is too much. Even Gininda couldn't take it at some point. The caller said that he would say, I've already answered that question. Remember that. I've already answered that question.
in a very evasive way.
Yes. So even a person you would consider that they don't have stress, you can't be in cross-examination for 3 days at home.
Yes. Guys, let's continue. Let's
By
like
one
the video,
lawyer.
share the video,
Repeating questions.
and subscribe. It's
What
annoying.
is that thing that they use, the case law that they said that a lawyer cannot be cross-examined, or a witness cannot be cross-examined by 2 lawyers of the same team or something like that? Did it not also include a repetition?
I don't know. We'll have to look at that.
The reason why they wouldn't allow for one witness to be cross-examined by 2 different lawyers is fear of a repetition, right, of questions. That is the gist of why it's prohibited. But here they are allowing Sibanda to repeat questions in the hopes of getting a different story or what, I don't know. But he's repeating the same question. Tomorrow, he'll repeat them again.
Someone is saying why Mjiyakho doesn't come and clarify things. Well, someone sent something on WhatsApp, said according to section 201 provides that no legal practitioner who is qualified to practice in a court shall be competent without the consent of the person consent to give the evidence at the criminal proceedings against any person by whom he is professionally employed or consulted with regard to anything he would not have been.
Well, there's a glitch there. I also thought about that section law, but then for me there's a glitch. The glitch comes in when Ntanzi is denying that he ever hired him. He gave him instructions. So Mjiyakho will have to provide proof that Ntanzi did indeed hire him.
Yes.
And if that's the case, then yes, he can testify. But if not, no, he must come.
If there's no proof?
No, he must come and
Do you think he would come if there's no proof? Because the fact that there's no proof is a problem.
It is huge. It's a huge. He'll have to be subpoenaed.
Well, Emily, early endings are always nice. Thank you guys.
Let's restore the energy. We'll come back again tomorrow.
Thank you guys for being with us.
Sibanda, guys, it's taking a toll on me. Hey.
Yeah. It's
I'm
a hard one.
exhausted. I'm tired.
It's a hard one, but we are here. It's difficult, man.
It's the most boring, dragging, useless cross-examination I've ever listened to.
It is.
In my opinion.
It is. Well, guys, it was nice having you here. Zo Kaba. And CK Moyo.
Touch my phone.
Madonza.
I'm afraid to touch my phone again. Oh my goodness.
Mamela. Spa Masugu. Net. And Lindiwe. Twala.
Okay.
Don't touch your phone ever again.
I'm sorry.
It's music that you are on.
It's not music. I'm trying to open YouTube and see the chat.
Sims Klaba, because if the music, if it passes here, it kills everything that we are doing.
I know that. That's why I quickly switch it off, Mr. Anonymous. Please don't let this drag. Let's see. Let's shout out our people on the chat. Okay.
Paul, and then I think Nick Kumalo. Who else? Tembelani Kanye. Yeah, that's basically it from my
Mamela
side.
Kunana.
Load shading, Paul.
Sims Baba. God's love.
Joe Munare. And then,
Boza 1. Ansi K Moyo.
we have shouted Ansi Moyo.
Beltangwenya.
Zaman Kwabe.
Yes. Hi, Zama. Hi, guys. Yo, guys. Yes.
This one, I'm not gonna shout this one out. I'm not gonna give him the airtime. CN Poker, Night CN Poker, and Tlatlayetu.
Netta said that the caller is making valid points, but the connection is.
Yeah, it was difficult. Yes, it was. But I think we caught a few things. It does happen that people who are saying good stuff, network becomes a problem. And also it's an international call. You can't blame it to anyone other than we can always blame it to load shading.
Well, Livy Messiah uthi lalani kahle guys.
Oh, lale kahle nawe.
And Mpule Chilwani. It's been a while since I saw the surname of Chilwani. I used to have a friend with the surname. It's been a while. Yes, Chilwani and Mpule Chilwani and
women with crazy faith. Sbonelo.
Woman with crazy faith.
Thandeka Zondi was here.
Thandeka Zondi.
Tebile Dlamini was here.
Dlamini.
The best thing was here. Zaman Kwabe. And then there was Mzwake Mafuleka. Thokosi Slanga, our moderator now. And then there's this Kaul. I will read the surname. I read the surname. God's love was here. And yeah, guys, I think...
Sure, Nettie, listen to this. Nettie says, we have a case right now at work where an inmate passed on because the doctor on duty declared them medically fit, even though they were not. Despite the inmate pressing the stress buttons, heads are rolling. Yeah, that's a crisis. That is a disaster. The doctor who did that.
Hey. Bye-bye, Mbule. Well, it's a bye from me. Let's like the video, guys, on our way out, and let's see what this has for us.
All right, guys. Thank you, and we'll see each other later.
Someone says, Mr. Anonymous, please say who benefits if there's no proof of Mjiyakho. Ntanzi benefits.
If there's no proof of Mjiyakho.
I was supposed to be studying. Hey, are you writing special exams? What are you studying?
Maybe they're studying in advance.
Sboza, you are studying already?
There are some people who prefer to start early.
Should give me your way of structuring things. I'm one of the people who studied last minute.
To avoid stress. The stress is intense when you when you have to write in 2 weeks and you're like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, Zamani, not Zama. You're changing someone now.
I'm sorry. Did I say Zama? Zamani.
Zaman Kwabe. Madonza. Yeah, I
Zamani
think,
Kwabe.
yes. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you to everyone who was here. Yeah, it does it benefit if they cannot prove that Mjiyakho was a lawyer for Ntanzi.
And they keep hammering that he was a lawyer, but the argument is that was he a lawyer hired by Ntanzi state? The fact that he was a lawyer or not is not the argument. The argument is, did Ntanzi hire him to represent him?
Yes.
Did they give him a letter of instructions? That is the argument here.
Yeah, that's a bye from us, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And please